Hi, my name is Mahlatsi Jujuju and I teach life orientation. So all of this information is taken from grade 9 solutions for all textbook life orientation grade 9. So for today we'll be talking about depression, the signs of depression, the causes of depression. We'll be talking about grief, losses and crisis. We'll be talking about the crosses also, and then we'll be dealing with the negative ways to deal with your depression, to deal with your loss, traumas, and crises. And we'll be talking about the positive ways to deal with your depression, loss, and trauma and crisis. I think that was clear. By the way, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for viewing this video. So today we're going to read grade 9. So sorry, grade 9th. Today we'll be talking about depression. What is depression? So depression, you can look into it further in your textbook. Don't depend only on my definitions and only on my notes, because now obviously it's summary, obviously it's my own words, but then obviously they relate to the real definition. So depression is an extreme sadness that lasts for a very long time, and it changes a person's lifestyle. Usually you be hearing people about it, oh we depressed. By the way, another time I was in my high school years, I didn't know what depression was, and I didn't know if I was experiencing depression or not. It was just a word that was not in my vocabulary, by the way. I was just being sad, and then I go like, I'm sad. I didn't know it was depression. So if you are in grade 9 or grade 10 or in your high school stages and you're experiencing depression, you at a young stage. But yeah, depression is among the teens, very young children, everyone, literally every stage of life. But Baba experience a depression. So don't be feeling bad if you're in your high school stage. Now personally, because I didn't know what depression was, I can't say in my university in my high school years I was experiencing depression. I didn't know what it was. Probably I was experiencing it without knowing it. Because some of us, we were not taught life orientation in our high school years. So that's why I'm doing this video, just in case you were now in case things haven't changed. So the signs of depression include frequent crying, they include negative thinking, they include fatigue, tiredness, and a lack of energy. So a lot of you just tired of cleaning your room. I think I had this time. I think I had depression, just that I didn't know. Because back in my high school days, I lacked a lot of energy. Probably it was just something else and not depression. We don't know. You don't want to take those baths. Okay, is not depression. But when I skip a match the whole weekend we're like you don't wash your hair, you don't moisturize your face, you don't even just turn on the sunscreen or do what, or when you do have pimples, you're just like it is what it is. Pimples are pimples. I'm ugly or not, things like that. You have difficulties in concentration, especially in class. You just prefer, let me sleep. The moment a teacher walks in class, we don't prefer, this is too much. And you withdraw from friends and families, block everyone. You don't want to attend the social events. You don't be attending it. Chomi chomi, hey, they don't like me, hey, they never do this for me. You always talk bad about them. You have loss of appetite. You just be eating the same thing every day, and you don't mind changing all day, and you don't care. I wanna tell let me try macaroni once in a while, man. Let me try rice, man. Let me do brown rice. I heard it's healthy. Let me do dumplings just for a change. I would reach when I just be doing pap and rice, pap and meat all day. Frequent cry, everything, release. You don't study, you don't do anything, you don't care about school, and when you fail, you be crying, you don't change the swagger. And then what are the causes of depression? Well, there are many causes of depression. Many causes of depression, and usually it's just a combination of a lot of factors. Usually it's a combination of social, it's a combination of mental, and it's a combination of environmental issues. And another thing that I had before I go to Thalusa, the mental, but it's an imbalance of chemicals in the brain. Obviously, now I just learned this. human being, whether life ya gago tsamaya gabotse, you have money, you have friends who love you, you got good careers, you got everything, just because one thing ya nature you can tsamaela wrong, wa ba le the imbalance of chemicals in your brain, and then wa ba le depression. I'm like, what the hell, there is no escape gabotse. Okay, and then you only, it's just a combination of problems, like I said, the social, where you come from. Alexandra everything, males running down. I get the society is not safe. Everywhere. You're not free to go around. You're not free to be walking at night, especially if you're a woman. Or if you're a male, you know for sure you gotta carry a gun or you gotta carry a weapon on the way. I get, or environmental. I get, the natural disasters of which they cause depression. I get, the mental factors. So not just the imbalance of chemicals in your body. Environment able yo what depressed go to catch a taxi bathong go get usanya go ya fail, you understand? You don't even want to go to town because you know for sure it's gonna take you hours and hours to get to grab a taxi. By the way, you're still in high school. I know you understand? And you be failing, you be not understanding mathematics. You just so they are depressed. Environmental, environmental, they are so the people like social, like a social. I'm going to get a combination. Like environmental, they are so cultural orientated, or very like religion, you understand? But yeah, as a human, you should be doing this, even though you're not agreeing with it, but because you belong in that certain environment, it will force our to or agree a little what so it's just, honestly, not depression. I just call it flu of the brain. It's the flu of the brain. Flu of the brain. Well, it's flu of it all. I don't know. Boom, depression. It will turn flu. Flu, when the season comes, when the summer comes, you get flu. When the summer ends, you get flu. Winter comes, you get flu. During winter, you get flu. Winter ends, you get flu. You understand? It's just the flu of the brain. So, it gets sick. And one of those sicknesses get depression. So don't be solutions. So don't dwell into it. Don't dwell into it. Be like, oh, this is the end of the world. Hey, hey, hey. Flu, and you get warm, and then you keep flu. I remember I had this flu caused by eating too much ice cream. You understand? I didn't die. So as much as the body is being affected by the flu, the corona, HIVs, STIs, cancer, diabetes, those are the illnesses of the body. And then we do have illnesses of the brain. Body depression. Flu of the brain. So we dealt with the causes of depression before we look at and then let's talk about the traumas, the loss, and the crisis. By the way, after experiencing trauma, post-traumatic stress, you experience a post-traumatic stress disorder after experiencing trauma. So what are the causes of trauma? The loss, what are the causes of grief, loss, traumas and crisis? The loss of lost one. Obviously, you're going to be experiencing grief. The fact that after you're going to be in a grieving stage whereby you'll be fighting with yourself, not accepting the person is gone, blaming yourself, the feeling of guilt, extreme sadness, asking yourself questions, what is going to happen? It shouldn't be them. We should have had our last moment. So the anger issues, you're going to be experiencing them. The loss of your loved one, the natural disasters. Obviously, those are the crisis ones that will cause you trauma, and that will lead to losing a person. And after losing a person, to experience a grief. Movement. Happy 1 a.m. 1 a.m. But anyways, I think they're just outside. Yeah. Most people to experience a loss if there's someone outside coming for me. But anyways, The natural disasters, like violence. I get violence can lead to trauma. Obviously, violence like the physical violence, experiencing motor the abuse. I get like the assault, physical or emotional assault. Physical and what? What is the other type of assault? It's about the physical one. What other way can? Oh, sexual assault. Oh yeah. We're talking about the sexual assault, we're talking about the accidents. These are the causes of what? Of crisis, trauma, loss, and grief. By the way, if you can read them backwards, crisis can lead to trauma, trauma leads to loss, loss leads to grieving. So now that we know what they are, we know the signs, we know, by the way, so they can also cause depression. So by the way, now that we know the signs and the causes and the definitions, now let's look at the negative ways to deal with them. So now that we realize what now it's kind of depression, experience a loss, hey mama got like hey I lost my best friend, hey I lost this, hey I've been through physical abuse, I've been through emotional abuse by my boyfriend, hey, by my family, black tax, hey it's killing me, this exam. Now that you need to be dealing with the negative ways to deal with them. So when now well, let's drink something, well, let's do drugs, well, let's do alcohol. Those are the negative ways to deal with your emotions. By the way, the use of drugs. Now let's look at the use of drugs. When you be using drugs and alcohol to solve your depression, to solve your challenging situation, now what's going to happen to you? Now it will be when you be using these things. Well, using drugs and alcohol to solve your challenging situations, they don't make the problem go away. They don't. The problem is just be staying. Yes, when you do drugs, when you do alcohol, that moment, that particular time, you will feel like, I'm relieved. The pressure is gone. I got to stress. Obviously, the veins will be stretching. There will be just a lot of tensions on your veins. So the moment you know alcohol, you feel like I'm relaxed. You feel like, I'm fine. You're not fine. You're not fine. You're not fine. It's just that alcohol and those drugs are just doing what they're supposed to be doing in your body. They be going to your brains. They be going to your heart and your pancreas and your livers and your kidney and all of that. So when they go through that, you just feel like, oh, you're relaxed. But they are still coming. They don't go away. And then honestly, they give temporary solutions. So after doing drugs, like last night while I was smoking or while I was drinking, I think I came up with the right solutions. That solution is temporary. That solution is temporary. And usually the right solutions, they really require you to be sober. They require you to be sober all the way. I don't want to make this video very long. I know we're on 13 minutes, but anyway, let's speed up. And then you feel like the problems went away, like I said. After drinking, because the tension in your brain, the nerves relax, you just feel like, the problems really, really, really went away. And then into waking, it's a temporary solution because you're going to be waking up. It's a stress is a hangover, and a hangover, it comes with the depression. That's one thing. Hangover, you get to be honest with you. So alcohol basically and drugs do get they just be adding up on your problems. And they might be addictive. You might get addicted to them because obviously you feel relaxed at that particular time, so you want to feel relaxed all the time. So you be drinking or smoking all the time. You be elevated tobacco. Tobacco. Or maybe it's part of the drugs. But anyways, you be speaking about suicide. When those are the negative ones, we be speaking about suicide like honestly speaking, I think it will just be the end of it. And then you do alcohols and drugs, they speed up aging. We be 25 looking like a 42-year-old who doesn't take care of themselves, by the way, because we have gorgeous and handsome 42-year-old people. And then it's bad for your health and it's bad for your body. oh yena e dira gore o be le mokhaba. You're going to have the mukhaba, big stomach, mukhaba, big stomach, what is it? Mukhaba, and you're going to be waking up with a tired body. Mukhaba, the face will just be looking very ugly. You're going to have a bad health and a bad body. Your kidneys obviously are going to be affected by that. Kidneys are usually responsible for the excretions and all that, and you're going to be having lung problems if you're smoking the tobacco or you're doing drugs. And then it's going to be bad for your finances, especially when you start working, or the only thing you're going to be thinking of just when you get paid, or just when you have savings, you're going to be looking for drugs or alcohol. So you'll be buying drugs and alcohol with your last money, and now you're going to be losing your attractiveness, and people will less likely to take you serious because so your opinions sometimes they won't even matter, man, because you're going to be having a poor face, and drinking alcohol is just the worst way to solve your problems. Again, maybe before you start thinking of drinking alcohol, maybe start solving those problems, and then see that you still see that if you still want to drink or do drugs, and you start going to have a reckless behavior, start doing unwanted sex, or you start having unprotected sex again. And unprotected sex leads to HIV, unwanted pregnancy, STIs. What do you want? And then lastly, let's talk about let's talk about the strategies to respond to your emotions, the depression, the loss, and the traumas. Again, now we're talking about the positive things. Now never like at the negatives, whereby we're not deciding, let me go do drugs, let me go do alcohol, again, just to deal with this right now. Now we're talking about the positive things. Again, so positively, if you do experience depression, you talk about it. Lastly, I thought I had depression, and I quickly called the South African landline. It's just a landline, man. Obviously, okay, Google. I just forgot what I was saying. And then I talked to someone about my experiences and all that. And then I think it was a lady. The way I responded, I didn't ask for Kim. I just got contact WhatsApp, I understand. I responded like and then I realized that it's not depression, I'm just sad, man. I'm just sad. I was in a different environment, so obviously change can be bad. So I was just experiencing the effect of change. And then you can find people you relate with. Just in case the people who have done abortions, you can go to, and then they feel guilty about the abortions and they start being depressed about it. You can go to Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp or find out whatever they did what you did, and then you just get to find your perfect home, because you guys will be sharing, or I experienced this or this and this and this. I did it because of what I did. They'll be sharing you the positive effects of it. Even if you lost your baby, or you lost your loved ones, or you're just depressed of or low self-esteem, or low self-concept, you can find people you relate with. You can start to change. You can start changing your habits. Start by quitting that alcohol. Start by stop buying those black colored clothes. Start rearranging your room. Start taking a walk in the morning. It's just a walk. You don't have to run. Just take that walk. Start a new habit. Start a journal. I do have a journal, by the way. This is my journal. At the back, I use it for lessons, and then at the front part of it, I write my things. It's just a new habit that I started during the Corona times, but I've always wanted to write something. I've always wanted to. For socio-economic, I think grade 10 life orientation. But grade 10 life orientation is boring, guys. Like, honestly, why not the socio-economic factors? Like, oh my god. But anyways, you can distract yourself. You can just distract yourself by studying. You understand? Listening to music. Getting up, something, take a walk, drive somewhere, color something, read a magazine, just distract yourself, cook, clean. I get it, so just to keep your mind busy. I'm not saying don't listen to your mind. By the way, I get it, don't listen to your mind, because the moment you start not listening to your mind, it means you're going to be listening to other people. So you're inviting people to control you. I get it. Just that don't do it frequently, don't do it all the time. Do it when it's necessary. With the distracting yourself. And then how to cope with the loss, because I feel like maybe this human being has been losing. Maybe I've been losing a lot of people to a point whereby I know how to cope with loss and grief. Loss. It can be anymore. It can be losing your pen. I mean, that's a loss, but is not all about people. Losing your job, losing this, grieving. Obviously, we've been losing a couple of family members and friends and all. Hence, when I change, it's like this girl is like, I got with depression. Hence, I'm always crying, but I'm always crying about depression. But when they're coping with loss and grief, when and when they're coping with trauma and crisis, it means I am a girl has been going through this mostly than one two. But anyways, if you want to cope with loss and grief, you just the feelings can be painful. I'm starting with the bottom because that's when I started gaining my momentum when I was going down than at first. The feelings can be painful, so give it some time. Give it some time. Honestly speaking, give it some time. It's like hurting your arm or getting a scratch. I got a scratch. Even here I got a scratch. But it's painful. It was painful. I gave it some time, and so it's itching now. So it's healing. It's healing. It's healing. It has healed actually here. So give it some time. It's going to be painful. Don't be out here expecting your mind to be healing fast, whilst you know or you've been getting some physical pain, the scratches and the broken arms and the and they didn't heal in just one day. And they didn't heal in just one day. So don't be out here expecting the grief and the losses and the depression and all of that to be healing in just one day. Impossible. So after the breakup, it will last long. So give it some time, man. The pain will last long. You'll be waking up thinking about it, sleeping thinking about it, eating thinking about it. You understand? So it's the same as physical pain. Physical pain and mental pain, they're just the same. They're just the same. Obviously, if you don't sit down and you look at it, it will be more. It's going to be more. So you need to sit down and look at your pain, and then you don't let it control your life. Don't be out here just because we're now. You lost your parent, you lost a friend, you failed a grade, we're talking about loss and grief. You lost your friend, you lost this, you lost the material things, or you lost what you got into an accident, and then you're out here letting it control your life. All you think about, all you do, all you say, all you do, and then your life be changing. And you don't know the pain. This is why I behave like this, or out here being addicted to all drugs and alcohol because you lost someone. No. Yes, maybe only after tears that people do. I don't, but people do anyways. It's that thing of which after tears. Maybe if you feel like it's okay, you do it. But don't be after tears when or every day. And then allow yourself to feel pain. Yes. Anyways, internal pain, it's way painful than physical pain. I don't know why, I don't know how, but allowing yourself to feel pain sometimes, but bye this thing. Hence they run to drugs and alcohol, because sitting down and allowing yourself to feel pain, it's painful. It's painful. So you just rather, let me just go and heal, let me just go do drugs, let me just drink something just to avoid it. Don't try to be strong because it will cause some more pain. By the way, don't try to be strong because it's going to cause you more pain. Don't be like, yeah, I'm a black strong woman, I'm strong, hey. No, it's going to cause you more pain. After losing that boyfriend, sit down, feel pain, don't let it control yourself, give it some time. Do cry, allow it to feel pain, and you're gonna have dreams and the nightmares, and they are normal. Probably the dead ones or the lost ones are going to be in your nightmares, they're going to be in your dreams. It's normal. It's normal. Don't be overthinking, don't be, it's normal. People, even your family members, your friends and other people, they are experiencing them. Even that boyfriend of yours, your girlfriend of yours, learn about experience, so just that probably they have pride to be talking about it. They want to win the game. It's all about that. And then don't grieve for too long. You can post them on your profile pictures, post them in your laptop or social medias. Let's be normal about it. I'm not saying what. Let's don't grieve for too long. Grieving for too long is the same as crying for too long. You can't cry for too long. It just probably have those experiences whereby you were crying for a very long time. Try crying for a very long time. You start getting those headaches, you start being tired, and you're like, I've been crying for too long. It's the same as grief. Don't do it for too long. Except that it's hard to live without them, and then face the reality. Just face the reality. It's hard. It's really hard to live without them, and just try to come up with something new. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard. It's the same as don't try to be strong. Don't be hard on yourself. Obviously, those who believe in God, they be like, yeah, God saw me, and then be like, yeah, you don't deserve to have a father. Granted, so crowd insulting yourself. Time heals. You'll just find yourself without having them. This is easy. Get closure. Visit their room. Write a memory book. And then try strategies to avoid future causes. Same as if someone committed suicide, obviously we need to sit down with your families, or if it happened in school, you sit down with your learners, or you sit down with this, and we try to avoid the future causes. And then you accept your feelings of anger. Don't pass down your anger to your children or to your friends or to your family. So yeah, ke na le mmalaileng, yeah ke le bone le gala le samrata and le samrata mo challenge so don't pass down your feelings of anger. Don't be out there to your friends. If you haven't healed, lock down yourself, lock down your feelings, write them down, talk to someone, do this. Don't be passing down those angers, because by the way, if you don't talk about it, and then stop beating up yourself, thinking when you caused them to die, or you start feeling guilty about how your relationship with them wasn't good enough, and you just feel like, before they died, we could have just sat down, ravelela, or we could have just had a good relationship together. So obviously, come on, let's just put it that way. Doesn't matter, you didn't answer their call, you didn't reply to the messages, or your phone was just was on silent, or what. If let me tell you that, let's just keep it straight like that. Don't be out here like, I gotta keep my phone on. Or usually I be telling people, off. I should always be charged all the time. But I should always be answering the calls. What if it's someone? What if someone is dying? I'm like, honestly speaking, if someone is dying, even if you get that call, even if you get that call, they're still going to die. You understand? So let's just accept it and just be normal. You do have to express your thoughts in your own way, and it's a normal part of life, and you are expected to be okay. Hence I'm saying, don't be don't grieve for too long, because it's an expected part of life. And then another thing with coping with trauma, let's do this and then we end it, because already we own 30 minutes. when coping with trauma can be caused by accident, rape. Traumas and crises can be caused by accident, rape, excessive bullying, physical and emotional abuse. And then here's 2 ways to deal with them or to cope with them. You need to give yourself some time to go through that trauma. You need to go through that trauma, even if it's just a small kind of trauma, a small kind of accident. You need to sit down and you need to talk about it with yourself. By the way, or with the people who relate to your situation. Because if you're gonna come to me and you talk about accidents and I didn't have an accident, I'll just be like, you survived, why are you worried? I won't really know what you are going through. I know you just going through your traumas. Now just when I look at the good side, you survived, not knowing very well what I to experience her trauma. I won't be knowing how to deal with it. So you really need to get a positive support group, and you really need to go through that trauma. And then usually trauma that happened to you at a young age, you might be thinking you forgot. You might be thinking they passed. Usually they didn't, because you are here thinking, well, I survived it at a young age. No, you didn't. You need to go sit down, especially excessive bullying, especially the accident. You be out thinking, well, that accident happened while I was 11, while I was 8, and then now I am 26, I'm 27, I'm 34. It means I am fine. Little don't you know, that trauma or that crisis affected your life from that day until you're 34, and you're willing to sit down with it. We're like, on the way that I am now, was it because of that trauma, or I was meant to be this person? Because it can affect your personality. You need to sit down. Don't be scared of it. Don't be fearing it. The physical abuse, the emotional. Sit down with them, and then you face them. You talk about it. What's on that day? Face them like you're telling a story. Write paper 3 about your traumas and your crisis. Yes, I think that was that was clear. Write paper 3 about them. Paper 3. Write essay about them. But anyways, we're done. Thank you so much for hanging there with me. We're done. We dealt with depression, the causes, the signs. We dealt with grief, loss, trauma, crisis, the causes. We dealt with the negative ways to deal with your challenging situation. Talking about the depression, the traumas and the crisis. Negative ways like drugs, alcohol, and what they might do to you afterwards. And then I called depression the flu of the brain. And then we talked about the positive ways to cope with your challenging situations, whereby you're coping with depression, coping with loss and grief, and then coping with traumas and crisis. Thank you so much. I think we're done. Bye.